I know we've laughed about this a little bit, kind of off camera, but I think there is this, to paint the picture, there's this perception, you know, not everyone in our communities, not everyone who follows our content is in the TA function. Not everyone is a recruiter or an HR. We've got a lot of people in in different industries, and that's awesome. LinkedIn is a beautiful place for that, and I'm all for that. But I think the issue that arises is kind of the misunderstanding around our role and what a recruiter does. And I think one of the recurring themes that I've seen is just kind of the recruiter job, because people stumble into it. Maybe it wasn't their plan. Maybe their career didn't pan out. Like for me, I wanted to be in Hollywood. I wanted to be a movie star, and I'm not for in the Marvel movies. So I kind of fell into recruitment, right? And so I think some people see that as like, oh, that was your plan B or your plan C, and it's an easy job. There's that perception out there,
Yep.
that this is an easy job. What I'd love, because look, if anyone looks at your profile, anyone looks at your history, like they can see that you've worked really, really hard to get to where you are right now, and you're going to continue working hard to build upon what you've built. But I bet it's not been easy, and I bet there's been days where it's been tough and arduous. So I'd love for you to maybe shed a little light on this perception of recruitment being an easy career. What is really hard about this career? For those people out there that are watching this that are thinking, should I go into recruitment? Should I go into the talent acquisition function?
Yeah.
I want to be like Josh when I grow up.
I
What
hope
what
not.
is what are some of the honest truths around the industry, and the
Yeah.
things that people don't talk about?
Yeah. Constant pressure. I mean, like when things are like I've experienced this way too much. When things are good and we're smashing it, like TA gets a thumbs up, like recruitment. But the minute that time to hire fails, we have offer declines, we have really hard sourcing problems, like the finger is going to get pointed right at you. And you kind
Mm,
of have to be the quarterback. You kind of have to own the results. And the reason that pressure is so hard is because we're dealing with an unpredictable product, which is human beings.
bingo.
Like I can't, like my brother, I draw this comparison a lot. My brother's a CPA, he's an accountant. I mean, he definitely deals with people, but like his product, his deliverables, his work is all very technical. It's like, go do this,
Hmm.
this report, these tax returns, this analysis. But we're asking, the business is asking us to deliver them a person to sit in a
Mm,
seat to do a function. And like that it seems like a simple idea, but that could not be further from the truth. Like that's a very, like, to influence and to bring someone in, whether they applied or not, to guide them through an interview process, to keep them engaged, to build trust and rapport with them, and then to close an offer. Like that is not easy at all. And to your point, you have to have really top notch, if you're good at it. The best recruiters I've worked with are just excellent communicators, influencers. They
hmm
have EQ through the roof. Uh,
mm.
but that sort of expectation to deliver just a product that is completely like, because you've seen it, like you're friends with someone, like I just had this happen to me. So roll in Australia, um, source super hard on it, for a week straight, had some good pipeline built, had like a rock star candidate that would move to like first round and then completely
Mm.
just fell off the rails. And I never got an explanation. And candidates are going to say, that's what recruiters do to us. And I'm like, exactly. It's all this,
Yeah.
this is how humans are, right? We're flaky. We,
Hmm.
it's just kind of a complex thing that we deal with. So, that's difficult. And then I would just add to that, working with so many different business units and managers, like you have to be so adaptable and flexible. Like I have people where I am very synced up with, it's very easy and natural, we move along. Others, it's a very kind of clunky, like how are we going to get on the same page? Maybe
Right.
I make a mistake and they don't trust me anymore. maybe it's hard to get a hold of someone, but like our clients that we work for are can be vastly different, and we kind of have to pivot. I certainly have to do this at Dragos. Like one week
Mm,
it's reverse engineer, the next week it's pen tester, the next week it's an account executive. Like, and
yeah.
so we have to kind of know a little bit about a lot of topics, and we have to understand our business really well. And I think that's another struggle.
The bouncing around is an interesting point that you brought up. Like you have to be quick on your feet. It's tough. You might be working really. I've had situations where I'll be working really hard, like you said, sourcing for a week, 2, 3 weeks on a roll, starting to get good traction. I'm getting excited, and then bam, we're not doing that role anymore. We decided to hire someone internally, or the funding's gone for the role. I need you to pivot to a higher priority, and it's like
Yep.
and you got that
Yes.
human emotion, right? For me, I just want to touch on real quick, and then we'll let Andrew add as well. But for me, something that I find really difficult, what a lot of people don't realize, some people feel that like recruitment is it's all hitting home runs and it's all changing people's lives and it's all making these amazing hires and it's
Yeah.
posting on LinkedIn and being an influencer. It's like no,
Yes.
like it is like 10% less than that. 1% of my time is hitting home runs. It's that
Yep.
euphoric moment of changing someone's life. Like the 99% is
Mhm.
the monotonous resume after resume,
Yep.
you know, phone screen after phone screen, sourcing after sourcing. And it all builds up to that, to that one moment of success. And then the other thing that's really difficult is your success resets every single day.
Yep.
So as a recruiter, you can't be like, oh, but I did so well last month. I hired some people, and you can't rest on your laurels. It's like, great, back to the drawing board. We have more roles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And people think, oh, that's not challenging, but emotionally, as a human, that's hard. And that's something that I think is really challenging. How about you, Andrew? What do you think?
Yeah, I think you touched on some great points, both of you. To your point, Daryl, about having that small window of success, right? I think the other aspect of that is, you may have 1% of your work may be, amazing, where you're putting someone to work and you offer an opportunity, but you're dealing with 99% of, I don't want to say failure, but negativity, right? Because you're basically either making someone's day or you're ruining their day by sending them communication saying, hey, you weren't selected for this role. So you're constantly dealing with, being the bad guy in cases where that might not even be there, right? Because the reality is you can only fill one seat at one time with one person. And so, especially like in markets that we're in now, where, here at Hig, when we had open roles, we were getting 10x the amount of applicants that we were getting from last year. And so that's 10 times more candidates that I have to reject and turn down and say, hey, I'm sorry, it's just not a fit. So there's that constant like negativity a little bit that you're always having to kind of wrestle with. The other thing too is I think, most people don't understand the gravity of the transaction of hiring. And what I mean by that is I think a lot of times we like Josh said, people think hiring is just it makes sense. It's really basic, right? It's a simple transaction, but it is one of the most expensive and costly transactions that a business makes. And so if you get it wrong, and if you get it wrong enough times, that becomes a real pain point for the business. And so it's a really, really important transaction, and it's really highly important that you get the right people in the right seats. And I think, I think to Josh's point, it's a lot of pressure, right, to make the right decision, guide hiring managers in the right way, because at the end of the day, you can really help or hurt your business by bringing in the wrong people, right, or the right people.